Thank you so much for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her, and this is going to be a nice, relaxing, restorative practice today. Actually, I think we will start on our feet. So be near your mat, have blankets, yoga blocks if you have them, bolsters, anything that you can use to substitute for those things nearby. We're going to come on down to our mat shortly, but before we do, let's just come right up onto our feet. And let's just take a nice big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, just let it go with a nice big sigh. Maybe opening the mouth as you exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. Big cleansing breath. Inhale through your nose. And let it go out the nose or the mouth with a big sigh of relief. 1 more time there. And then let's just inhale and raise the arms up towards the sky. Maybe look up to see your palms come together, and exhale, bringing your hands down to your heart. Next time you exhale, release the arms out to Tadasana. So kind of rock back and forth a little bit on your feet. Maybe just notice if you tend to carry more of your weight in the front of your foot and your toes and the ball of your foot, or maybe back in the heels. And see if you might find a place where you feel really centered, neither too far forward nor too far back, but just right. And then maybe find a little bend in the knees, bending and straightening them. And when you bring them back to straight, just make sure that they're not locked here, that you've got a little bit of give in those knees, a little bounce. And then we'll let that tailbone come down towards the earth. So rather than poking the butt out like that, we're just gonna draw it downward towards the earth, and notice how your hip bones kind of jut up just a tiny little bit, just a fraction of an inch, but just enough to lengthen the tailbone down. And we'll roll the shoulders up and back and down. Maybe do that 3 or 4 times. And the last time you roll the shoulders back and down, leave them in that nice down position, and notice how that lifts your heart up towards the sky. We'll open the palms to the front, thumbs pointing outward. And then we'll draw the tips of the ears as if you were a Vulcan or an elf, and draw the tips of the ears up towards the sky, and just notice how that tucks your chin gently and lengthens your neck. And then draw your next inhale deep down into your belly. And exhale fully and completely, resolving to stay strong in your mountain pose. Nice, big, deep breaths, maybe even having that exhale match the length of the inhale. So you might inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, or whatever your count is. You're telling your nervous system right now that it is a good time to be calm, to heal, to breathe, to balance, to come back into homeostasis. And then let's inhale and slowly raise the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, turn your palms out and let the fingertips come down towards the earth. Not just dropping the arms, but intentionally and slowly pressing them downward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling the arms up high. Exhale, bringing the fingertips downward. Resolve to keep your balance even across both feet as you inhale the arms up towards the sky once again. And exhale, turn the palms out. Let the arms come down. Deliberately noticing all the subtleties along the way. And then we'll bring those arms up one more time. And when they reach parallel to one another, go ahead and encircle that right wrist with your left fingers. Inhale, pulling that right side long and tall. And exhale, hinging over towards the left. Press into that right foot as evenly as you're pressing into the left foot, nice and even and balanced through both feet. Take another inhale right here. Stay for that exhale. And then we'll inhale, arms back up towards the sky. Encircle that left wrist, get nice and long through the left side of the body, and exhale towards the right. Press evenly through both feet as you breathe into the left side of the body. Maybe closing your eyes if you want to challenge your balance a little bit. Notice the expansion of the rib cage as you inhale. And softening as you exhale. Next inhale brings you back up to a tall mountain, hands parallel. And then we'll exhale, bringing the arms all the way down. And then bend the knees deeply and swan dive all the way down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. We'll cradle those elbows in the palms here. Giving yourself a nice ragdoll and bend the knees really deeply. Let the belly come to the tops of the thighs. And we'll find 3 more of those big cleansing breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth or nose with a big sigh. And as you inhale, notice your spine expanding. And as you exhale, let the weight of the head be free. Tuck your chin. Inhale, feeling yourself expand in both sides of the rib cage. And as you exhale and release the weight of the head, notice how your spine gets a little bit longer. Let's switch the clasp of the arms, bringing the opposite forearm in front. And continue breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe coming back to that balanced breath and inhaling, exhaling through the nose when you're ready. Just surrender the weight of your upper body to gravity as you ground down evenly through both feet. Maybe even bring more of the feet or more of your weight towards the back of the feet and the heels, and bend the knees a little more deeply. And just release the weight of the torso, getting your spine longer and longer, more and more space between each and every vertebra. One more big inhale here. One more big exhale. And then we'll go ahead and bring their fingertips down to the earth. And we'll come on down to our mats into a nice, strong tabletop. So from tabletop, maybe walk your wrists out a little bit ahead of the shoulders. so that you can really press across the fingers. So we want to be pressing fully across the fingers of both hands here, fully into the mound underneath each finger at the top of the palm, and kind of see if you can sort of suction cup your palm so that some of the weight comes off the wrist here. Let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, coming into cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the tailbone, crown of the head comes towards the earth. Inhale into that cow pose once again. Exhale, cat pose. Let's inhale back to a nice strong table. And as you exhale this time, just take a glance over your right shoulder and look back towards your right hip as you draw the right hip towards the right shoulder. Inhale, center, and then glance back over that left shoulder, left hip coming toward it. Inhale, center, and from side to side, once again, opening up the side body here. Next time you go to the left will be your last time. And then we'll inhale back to that nice strong table. Exhale into your cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, maybe tuck the toes and bend the elbows as you inhale into maybe a little deeper cow pose here. Exhale, untuck the toes, really press into all 10 fingers and open up as much space as you can behind the heart. One more inhale into cow. Exhale into cat, and let's stay here in cat for a couple of breaths. Continue to breathe and maybe find that same side to side, looking back towards the right hip, over the right shoulder, and then the left side, just like we did from tabletop, but opening up the side as we are in this nice cat pose. And then maybe just find some organic movement here with the spine. You might want to send those hips back towards the heels, getting nice and long in the upper body. You might want to make some barrel rolls with the spine, kind of like the spine's a jump rope a little bit. If you do that, make sure you reverse, going in the opposite direction. And then when you've had enough there, let's pop up onto those fingertips, tuck the toes, press the hips back towards the heels, and just let the heart sink down towards the earth. Open up through the armpits here, drawing the shoulder blades back and down towards the tailbone. Breathing here. Let's inhale back up to your tabletop. And then let's take those knees as wide as the mat, bring the big toes together, and let's plant the right hand right underneath your gaze. Take your left fingertips and like you're pulling back the bow of a bow and arrow, draw them up the inside of the right arm, really making contact with the skin here, touching the right shoulder, across the collarbones, all the way up as high as the shoulder wants to go, fingertips towards the sky, pressing down to reach up. One more inhale here, wiggle the fingers, and exhale, diving that left arm right behind the, dive that left arm behind the right arm, and bring the left shoulder and the left temple down to your mat. Get that right arm as long as feels good here. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, just cross that right arm across the left arm. And allow the weight of the right arm to sort of anchor you here so that you can take a nice big inhale. And exhale, maybe with a sigh, and just, you know, surrender your weight here to gravity. Soften the jaw, soften the brow. Feel your hips be nice and heavy. Opening up that space behind the shoulders, behind the heart. Next inhale, let's press back up to a tabletop in the arms, keeping the knees wide. And we'll plant the left hand right underneath the gaze and draw the right fingertips up the inside of the left arm, across the shoulder, across the collarbones, reaching all the way up towards the sky. Breathing here. Next inhale, just wiggle those fingers a bit, and exhale, dive all the way back down. Right arm behind the left this time, right shoulder and temple down to your mat. Find length in the left side body, and if it feels good, you might want to anchor that left arm across the right. And again, just find where you can soften and let go. Where are you holding tension and exerting effort that you really don't need to here? That's a good lesson off the mat too. Sometimes we're just spinning our wheels, exerting effort that we really don't need to. Maybe we can just let that go. Another big inhale, another exhale. Let yourself feel good here. And then we'll inhale back up to tabletop, and we'll get off those knees by swinging the legs out to one side or the other, or crossing the ankles behind you and rolling your seat over. Let's extend those feet out long and kind of center yourself here on your mat so you have plenty of space behind you here. And we'll find a nice Dandasana here, staff pose. And if this doesn't feel real good for your back or your knees here, you might use one of your supports, a blanket or bolster underneath the knees. Or you might find that it feels good to bring a support to sit on and just lift your hips here a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of length in the spine there. Maybe bring those fingertips out towards the sides. Find that same Tadasana spine like we did at the beginning, with your tips of your ears drawing up towards the sky, your sit bones even across your support, shoulder blades down the back, heart lifted. Let's inhale and bring those arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, hinge up and over the thighs just until you feel a stretch in the low back or the hamstrings. Inhale here, and when you're ready, release your hands down to your mat. You might want to stay right here. This might be plenty for you today. If you want to continue to go a little deeper, you might begin to walk your hands a little closer to your feet. Inhale, length into the spine, draw the heart forward, and as you exhale, maybe let the heart come a little closer to the knees. You might like to continue in that manner, getting a little bit closer to maybe even reaching for the ankles or the feet. Or you might find it nice to bring a block or other support to the tops of your thighs and just let the spine round and bring your forehead to your support, releasing any tension in the feet. Find a place that serves you. If you have any more length that you want to put into this, you can take that same block and put it at the bottom of your feet and reach the fingertips beyond so that you get even longer across the back body. So wherever you are today, whatever serves you best. We're going to be here for 2 full minutes. I'm just looking at my timer to make sure I give you all 120 seconds. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but once you're here for 120 seconds, it might end up feeling like a long time. But that is what recent studies show it takes to let the fascia release. And that fascia is that kind of webbing tissue in between your skin and the top layer of muscle and fat. And it can get really bunched up and wrinkled and even create some little scarring areas where you might have chronic tension. And it takes at least 2 full minutes to begin to soften and release that tissue. So like we did when we were in our forward fold, you might want to breathe into the back body, noticing your spine getting longer. And as you exhale, see where else you can soften and let go of effort. Softening the face, softening the muscles of the shoulders and the legs. We have 15 more seconds left. And you could technically stay here for 5 or even 10 minutes if you wanted to make this a yin practice. So if this feels good to you and you feel like you would like to do this a little bit longer, definitely do this at any time that feels good to you. You might even want to stay here now. But if you're continuing your practice with me, let's go ahead and inhale to find some length in the spine once again, if you're not there already. And then as we exhale, we'll just begin to walk the fingertips back up to a nice tall spine here. Let's draw that right knee up towards the sky, bringing the sole of the right foot to the earth. This might be plenty for you, maybe a fist width from the inside of the left thigh to the inside of that right ankle. But if you want to twist a little deeper, you might cross the right leg over the left so that the sole of the right foot is outside the left knee. That way, and you can keep that left leg extended. Or if you want to go even farther here, you can bend that left knee and crisscross your knees or stack them one on top of the other, coming into cow face pose here. So this is technically supposed to be the smile of the cow. And if you're here and sitting on a pillow, that might be really nice. Or you might want to remove the pillow. But see if you can get even through the sit bones, no matter what position your legs are in. And we'll hold on to that right knee with your interlaced fingers and draw length up in the spine, tucking that chin, drawing the tips of the ears up towards the sky, letting the shoulders be soft and relaxed here. Release your fingers and inhale the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale to cross that right arm across the heart. Hug it in with your left hand here. Keep your shoulders square to the front of your mat. We're not twisting just yet, as we just get into this left shoulder. One more inhale to find length in that spine. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your forearm to the top of the right knee or thigh, or you might want to hook it around the outside if your knee's a little bit higher than mine is. And then you'll swim that right arm out and around to anchor and kind of be a kickstand here as you twist to the right. Maybe look back over that right shoulder. Maybe keep your gaze in line with the heart. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine, finding your Tadasana back. And exhale into your twist, maybe softening here, maybe getting any amount deeper. One more full breath here. One more inhale. And the next time you exhale, we'll release that bind and twist all the way over to the left side. Bring your fingertips down to the mat and just let your head round forward. Crown of the head towards the earth, getting a little counter twist here. Full cycle of breath here. And then we'll inhale to a nice tall spine, unwind your legs, maybe windshield wiper the feet a little bit from side to side. And then we'll do the same thing on the left side. So bend that left knee, draw it in towards the heart. Maybe stay right here to prepare for your twist if that's what you did on the first side. Or you might want to cross that left leg over the right. Or you might want to kind of tilt over to the right a little bit so that you can bend that right knee up underneath you, stacking the knees once again. And again, it's probably, I'm not going to say impossible because I'm sure there are people out there that can do it, but it would be very difficult to get perfect alignment in this position, in the feet, in the knees, in the hips. Don't worry about that so much as that you're kind of trending that way. You're drawing yourself that way. You're encouraging yourself that way, inviting. So while the sit bones might not be even on the earth, maybe you can get them a little closer. Interlace your fingers, but bring that opposite finger on top and hug the top knee in towards you. I always like to balance out opposite clasp, not just to balance the body, but also because it feels weird. It's teaching yourself how to create new healthy habits. And it also creates neural pathways in your brain when you do new things. So we can create strength in our brains as well as our bodies. Let's inhale those arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, crossing that right arm across the heart and hugging it in with the left. Keeping your shoulders square to the mat, finding your Tadasana back. Breathing into that right shoulder. One more inhale here. And exhale, bringing your right arm around the left knee or to rest atop the left thigh and swim those left fingertips back behind you. Finding your little kickstand support there. Draw that left shoulder back and down and find length in the spine as you inhale. Find depth or softness in your twist as you exhale. Notice what you feel. What do you feel in your body? If you feel any discomfort here, is there some tension that you can release to bring some comfort, some ease? Another good off the mat yoga lesson for us all. We find ourselves in uncomfortable situations. what can we do to support ourselves? Can we bring balance to our breath, awareness of the body, so that we can find ease in uncomfortable situations? One more inhale here. Exhale to unwind, twist to the right side. Bring your fingertips down to the mat and let the crown of the head come down towards the earth, finding your counter twist. Breathing here. And then let's go ahead and release the legs, windshield wiper the feet a little bit from side to side. And then we're gonna come on down to your back. Find any way that works for you to get there. You might find it fun to bring your hands to the backs of your thighs and just allow yourself to kind of roll up and down the spine a few times. And when you're ready, just let yourself settle here, hugging those knees in towards your heart, and maybe rocking gently from side to side. And then we'll bring the feet to the mat, bending your knees up towards the sky. And kind of bring the feet as wide as the mat here. Open up your arms into a T, palms up or down, whatever feels best in your shoulders. Inhale right here, and as you exhale, let your knees go to the right as your gaze goes to the left. Inhale, knees and gaze high to the sky. Exhale, knees left, gaze right. And we'll just keep moving from side to side here, and take as long in each movement as it takes for you to have a full and complete breath. Moving from side to side. The next time your knees come all the way over to the right, just stay there and breathe for a moment. Just see where you can soften, where can you release the weight of your legs. Relax your muscles and the skin of your face. Another full breath here. In your next inhale, draw the knees and gaze back up towards the sky. Exhale, knees left, gaze right, and stay here for just a couple of breaths. See where you can soften and let go of any kind of effort. And then next time you inhale, bring your knees and your gaze back up towards the sky. We're going to do a little heart opening here. So if you like full fish pose, go ahead and get yourself ready for fish pose, or I'm going to guide you in the supported fish also. So first, we'll look at the supported options. If you don't have a yoga block, and I'm removing my ponytail because the crown of the head is going to come down towards the earth and it might get in the way. So if you've got a ponytail or something or a bun up there at the top, just take it out so that you can come to lay with your blanket or bolster or folded up towel or whatever right underneath the shoulder blades. You can extend the legs long and just allow your heart to open. If you have a yoga block, you might take the block at the shoulder blades here in the lowest position so that the wide edge of the block is kind of at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Peek at the camera if you needed to look there. And then just bring your bent knees up towards the sky. Soles of the feet can be nice and wide, and you can let the knees fall in on each other. And allow the crown of the head to come towards the earth. Hands can be at belly or out in Shavasana arms with the palm shining upward. You can have the legs straight here as well if you prefer, or you might even want to bring the soles of the feet together and bring yourself into Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. If you do like coming into full fish pose, let's go ahead and bend those knees once again. Rock your knees over to the left and tuck your hand underneath your right buttock. Rock your knees over to the right and tuck your left hand underneath the right cheek or left cheek. So you're basically sitting on the backs of your hands. Rock from side to side a little bit to draw those shoulder blades in towards one another. So you're almost laying on your arms here. Extend the legs out long and kind of make those high heel shoe feet here. Pressing into the balls of the feet, spreading the toes wide. Think fish fin, sort of, with the little spinies maybe. I don't know, use your imagination. And then press into your elbows, tuck your chin, inhale and look at your toes. Walk those elbows in a little bit closer if you like. And as you exhale, just keep the heart lifted as you open up the throat and bring the crown of the head to rest or hover over your mat. Lots of options there. If none of this looks good to you, just bring yourself down to full Shavasana. So whether you're in a supported fish or in a fish supported by your own body, allow that heart to lift towards the sky. Allow the throat to be open and soft and relaxed. Breathe into that belly with those nice balanced breaths you cultivated at the beginning in our practice. And we'll find a few more breaths here. And if at any point you're ready to come out before I guide you to, definitely just come on out, come to full Shavasana. We'll take 2 more full breaths wherever you are. If you're in full fish here, inhale and exhale and just kind of slide the back of your head onto the mat. Roll off one arm and then off the other, coming into full Shavasana. If you are in a supported version, roll to whatever side serves you best, off your support, press yourself up, remove the support, and come right on down to your back. If you want to stay in that supported fish pose, stay by all means. Otherwise, join us in your final Shavasana. Legs with space in between them, maybe the heels down at the bottom 2 corners of your mat, toes pointed outward, palms shining up towards the sky. Maybe tuck your shoulders in and toward one another and pick up the head just enough to tuck that chin, lengthening your neck. And just allow yourself to rest. Notice how that word rest feels when it lands in your body. No judgment, just notice how that feels. How does it feel to allow yourself rest How does it feel to give yourself permission to rest? Why the F do we feel like we need permission to rest, for crying out loud? We're human beings. We need to find balance. And it is just as important for the functions of your body to rest, to come into this parasympathetic nervous system place where you are supporting yourself, as it is to exercise and eat right. When we calm the nervous system, we calm inflammation in the body. We support our circulatory, respiratory, muscular, skeletal, lymphatic health, all the healths. So take some time to rest every day. And this is where I'm going to leave you. If you would like to stay here in Shavasana, please do so. This is the most important part of your practice. Focus on your breath. Focus on where you can continue to soften your body. And I will leave you here. If you'd like to join me, you can bring your palms together and maybe bring them to your heart or up to the third eye between the eyebrows. The light within me honors and reveres the light within each of you. Namaste.